Good morning, this is Jack from the ArtChart.net, and this is the pre-market recording for Thursday, the 4th of October. Our disclaimer, it is for educational purposes only. We're here to share our technical analysis with you. We hope you can take some of what we're doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. We're not here to issue trading signals. Right, first off, we're going to start with the most important chart for me, which is the SPX chart. We need to not break this trend line. This trend line is approximately at about 29.18. No, probably more like 29.16. So that is at about 29.21 or 22 ES. Obviously, that's where we are now. As soon as, if we break this, then we break our main trend line support. We open up we break our main trend line support. We could fill this gap. This could potentially be a flag forming or a double top. We open up a test of 2900, but most importantly, we lose this trend line as a target. And that is important because we've only got a window the last few more days, and I don't want to see this break early. Is there a case for it breaking early? Well, I was talking about this yesterday, and the short answer is potentially yes. But I've got a main support trend line here that I don't want to see broken, and Stan's expecting us to go below it. I'm a little doubtful about it, but if we do, then we may well see SPX go down to test the 2900 area, and again, as I said, we lose the upside target, which would be a great shame. On NDX, we've already seen a retest of the high. This is potentially a little double top. I'll show you that on the NQ chart. So there is cause for concern here. What I want to see is the ES be back over the weekly pivot and hold it all day. I'll call if we break my trend line on the Twitter feed, but that is my main concern here because we need to get above it and stay above it to keep the open target open, because the open target is up at about 29.80, but it's only a target as long as that wedge is intact. As soon as that wedge breaks, then very possibly we lose that target. It's possible we could set up another support trend line, but it won't be as nice as the current one, which we've broken, because there isn't time to set up another one which is as nice as that one. So watching that with interest, we need to get back over the weekly pivot, and we need to stay over the weekly pivot. We're back over it at the moment. That needs to be support. So watching that. The good news is I've got it down as a brewing signal here actually, but this is a fixed borderline week. It's actually pretty close to a full-sized buy signal. This is promising for the upside. We need to go and make a new ATH. Now, when we get to the new ATH, there is a possibility we could fail there. Because of course we would have a double top there. We've got a pretty decent looking double top on the bigger picture with NQ, and we've got a possible secondary smaller head and shoulders which is broken down and is finding support at the weekly pivot, monthly pivot. We need to keep support at the weekly pivot, monthly pivot. I've got secondary trend line support below that in about the 75-60 area, but really I want to see this support hold. It's holding so far. As long as that continues to hold, that's fine. But again, we've got weekly pivot here. So basically on ES and NQ, we need to hold the weekly pivot today. NQ, it's less serious if we go through it. ES, potentially it's very serious if we go through it, because it makes a major change to the technical setup, even if it looks as though we're just retesting the overnight lows. The trend line support is an RTH trend line. So to that extent, it only really matters what happens in RTH. RTH is about to start, so I'm going to be watching this very, very carefully. Okay, CL. CL, do I have a decent resistance trend line? No. We are still on a weak 60-minute sell signal. There is some reason to think that this is reversing here. It does need a retracement. If we see a retracement, without a decent resistance trend line, I'm not really looking necessarily at a test of this trend line support. What I would like to see is a test of at least the weekly pivot. And I think there'd be a good chance that we'd get there or slightly below it, possibly even the monthly pivot. So I think that's likely to be a retracement for another move up, because I think we're now close enough that it's pretty obvious the main target is or at least should be, the major falling wedge resistance, which is in the 79.80 area. And I think after a retracement, probably, that's where we'll be going. This should retrace, doesn't mean always that it will. NG. NG, we are still on a 60-minute sell signal that just survived yesterday. We're still on a daily sell signal. Well, no, we've got a daily sell signal brewing. This has been a very, very fast move. There is an argument for a decent retrace here. Is it going to retrace? maybe. So we're looking at resistance, which is in the, well, we're hoping to see yesterday's high hold and then start that retrace here. There's definitely a setup for that here. How definite that is, don't know. I prefer the bonds reversal. Okay, GC. GC is holding support on the monthly pivot, 1207. There is a good case that DX is reversing here. It's certainly reversing for a decline here, I think. But it could be a very serious reversal, and we'll see. If it is, then this is going to start heading towards 1300 area. SI holding the weekly pivot, almost tested that overnight. As long as that remains the case, the upside is the obvious course to go. HG, I'm a little concerned about the possible double top setup here. And there is a case that, because the thing is, this is actually an IHS right shoulder on the bigger picture. Now, there's a case we could break up directly from here and start playing out that head and shoulder, but if we don't do that, then we could come back and go lower here, and there's obviously a setup to do that. So I'm keeping an open mind on HG. I've got to say the other metals are suggesting that this will resolve to the long side. CB, this is a nice setup. Doesn't have to play out, but it's a nice setup. I've now got, and I know this is contradicting what Stan's saying on the Twitter feed, but Stan and I use different methods, obviously. This is now a nice pattern. It's a very nice falling megaphone. We've got a buy signal on the low, and it's a nice one. It's got quite a lot of play left in it. I think we're forming the right shoulder on a small IHS here. That would get us back to about the 139s, and then the obvious next target for me would be this trend line here, currently at 140.10. On a break up from that, a test of the monthly pivot, which is a good match with the 50% FIB. I think that may well deliver. We've got the RSI divergence for it on TNX and here on ZB. So I'm thinking we may well see a retrace back to 141, at which case I have to say I'd be looking for probably the downtrend, overall downtrend to resume. I think this was a significant technical break yesterday. So I think but there is a good chance we're going to rally back to 141 here. And obviously I would like to see that. So, I'd probably be looking for short entries if we get there. And I'd be looking at the possible short entry if we get here. Let's say that's hit in, let's say, tomorrow in the 140 area. That would be a potential reversal area too. Okay, let's have a look at DX. Now, DX, the original rising wedge, has turned into a larger rising wedge. This has got back to the 76.4% retracement. I'm a little concerned about that because obviously that's getting pretty close to a retest of this high. But this is a nice wedge. We're still on a 60-minute sell signal. I like the reversal here. I will feel a lot happier once it's under the monthly pivot. This could be just, this is a wedge which is going to break down for a 50 back, which wouldn't get us to the monthly pivot. But I'm liking the reversal here, and this could well be it. This is too large to be a bear flag and too steep to be a bear flag. It's possible this is going to evolve into a large pattern and deliver a retest of this high. But at the moment, let's take the wedge and see what it does. Okay, USD. Again, the original falling wedge from yesterday's turned into a larger falling wedge. Looks pretty good. To the upside, needs to break over wedge resistance. Hasn't done that yet, but as and when it does that, we should see at least a decent retrace. Again, I'll be happy with the overall long setup once it's over the monthly pivot. On the bigger picture, this is potentially an IHS, which I'm really liking. So we shall see how that goes. Okay, USD/JPY went slightly over my channel resistance, which is a slight concern. We don't have any current divergence on it. I'm thinking this may well be topping out here, but I'd be happier if that trendline resistance had held. I'm going to be looking for alternatives, quite liking a reversal here overall. USD CAD. USD CAD, I've got this in a very possible megaphone at the moment, and if so, we're heading back to megaphone resistance, which is currently in the monthly pivot area. Not seeing any particular reason to look for reversal here. A little negative divergence, maybe. Not a lot. Australian dollar. I was talking about this being the obvious target being the low retest yesterday, and we've got the low retest. We've also got, I've not marked it in, we've also got a weak 60-minute buy signal. This may well have made a significant low here. KC, we were looking for a reversal, and I think we may have seen it. This could be A, doing B now, then C, or this could be it. So really, we could go straight up from here, or we could go a bit lower. But I think it doesn't need to go a lot lower. This would be a sufficient retracement, I think, of itself. It would set up a pretty decent support trend line, so it may be that we're going to head up directly from here. I'm not expecting to see more than the retrace before a proper move up. I think this was a decent impulse, backtest and go. Okay, SB. SB, I've still got a 60-minute sell signal fixed here. I've got a potential double top here, which hasn't broken down, which could get us back to a bit under the monthly pivots. That could play out. Equally, this could be a flag forming. We could go up directly from here. The bigger picture pattern here is a double bottom on a sustained break over 1255. We should go and do 1400. And really, that's the obvious thing for it to be doing. The question is how far it's going to retrace first. RSI is suggesting it might go lower. Okay, CC. CC bottoming out within this structure here. If this isn't a bear flag forming, and it might be a bear flag forming, I'd expect to see a retest of this low. If we're doing this would look like an A, B, C bear flag forming otherwise. Watching that with interest. No current lean on the RSI. ZW. ZW, I still quite like the IHS from yesterday, but it would need to break up soon. The IHS is already considerably longer on the right shoulder than it is on the left shoulder. This head and shoulders obviously didn't play out, so it's not technically failed, but not, at this stage, the structure is not suggesting to give any confidence in it. I would like to see this break up towards the 568 target, but if we're going to do that, really needs to be. Yeah, no worries. I can go. I can cover DNX and cover any repeats at the end. Okay. Corn. We're up at a potential large IHS neckline. We may be reversing to make a right shoulder. We are on we're on a 4-hour sell signal, but that's reached the possible near-miss target already. Soy. Soy is on a 4-hour sell signal, not been showing any sign of reversal here. We're not at any significant area here. I'm not seeing a right shoulder reversal. The main thing I'm watching here is the rising support, which I've currently got in the 855 area. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording there.